Dayton, Ohio, 1955. Frances's bathroom shelf had 3 things on it. Not 3 skincare products, 3 things from the pharmacy counter, none of them over 30 cents. She did not have an anti-aging routine. She had a pantry, a drugstore, and what her mother had shown her at 16. The women on her street did not fight aging. They protected what they had. 40 years later, the skin told the difference. 13 things. None of them invented after 1910. Number 8 has been in American kitchens for 150 years. A 2009 study found it reduced visible signs of skin aging after 4 weeks. Number 3 is so cheap, the industry had every incentive to make you forget it existed. Number 1 is not a product at all. 13 things, starting now. Number 13, she never sat in the sun between 11 and 3. The sun hat hanging on the hook beside Frances's back door was not a fashion item. It was Tuesday morning practice. Wide-brimmed straw, the kind sold at Sears for $1.75 in 1953. It went on when she went to the garden, when she walked to the market, when she sat on the porch in July. Not because she had heard of UV index or photoaging or collagen degradation, because her mother had told her that the midday sun aged the skin faster than anything she could name, and her mother's skin at 75 had been the evidence. The rule on her street: no direct sun between 11 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon, cotton gloves for driving, a parasol for the longer walks in summer, not vanity. Maintenance. Ultraviolet exposure is responsible for approximately 90% of visible skin aging, not genetics, not products, not time, in the way the word is usually meant. Sun. UV protection hats marketed today for sun safety run $35 to $50. Frances's straw hat cost $1.75. Number 12. She softened her wash water with borax. The yellow box of 20 Mule Team borax sat on the shelf above the laundry basin. Frances kept a second, smaller box in the bathroom. 2 tablespoons dissolved in the basin before washing her face. In Dayton in 1955, as in most American cities, the municipal water ran hard, with elevated calcium and magnesium ions that reacted with soap to form a residue that sat on the skin rather than rinsing away clean. This residue did not feel like residue. It felt like dryness because it was drawing moisture out. Borax neutralized the mineral ions before the soap went in. The soap rinsed completely. The skin after washing felt nothing, no tightness, no residue, no sensation indicating something had been taken. The tightness after washing that most women accepted as normal, the feeling that clean meant something had been stripped, was not cleanliness. It was damage so mild it had no name, occurring so consistently it had become invisible. The box at the hardware store cost 15 cents in 1952 and lasted 3 months. 20 Mule Team borax still sells for under $5. Number 11. She washed her face with buttermilk twice a week. The carton of buttermilk in Frances's refrigerator had 2 purposes: the cornbread she made every Sunday and the skin she tended every Wednesday and Saturday evening. A saturated cotton cloth applied from forehead to chin, down the neck, left to rest for 5 minutes, then rinsed with cool water. Buttermilk contains lactic acid, an alpha hydroxy acid that loosens dead surface cells, allowing them to shed without scrubbing. The result over weeks: brighter, more even skin and reduced fine lines. Studies published through the 1990s confirmed what 2 generations of consistent use had already established. Topical lactic acid applied regularly reduced the appearance of fine lines and improved skin texture over time. Frances did not have those studies. She had her Wednesday and Saturday evenings and a carton that cost 25 cents. Lactic acid serums, the stabilized synthetic version, run $45 to $85 a bottle. The carton cost 25 cents. She used it twice a week for 30 years. Number 10, she kept a bottle of glycerin and rose water on the shelf. Every pharmacy in Dayton stocked it. A glass bottle, typically amber, labeled simply glycerin and rose water, a prepared compound so standard it needed no brand. The cost in 1952 was 30 cents. Frances applied it twice daily, after the morning rinse and after the evening's buttermilk treatment. Glycerin is a humectant. It draws moisture from the surrounding air and holds it at the skin's surface. In the concentrations used in the pharmacy preparation, it leaves the skin neither greasy nor coated, but in the condition the skin's own oils are trying to maintain under ordinary circumstances. Rose water added a mild anti-inflammatory effect and a scent that was brief and clean. Skin cells that hold moisture show fewer fine lines. Frances was not treating them. She was keeping the skin hydrated so they never deepened. Hyaluronic acid serums, the current premium humectant in the same market, sell for $50 to $90 per bottle. A glass bottle of glycerin and rose water at the pharmacy counter costs 30 cents. It still exists at any drugstore that stocks it. Most women walk past it without stopping. Number 9. She kept a cucumber in the ice box for her face. Not the whole cucumber. The last 2 inches, cut from the end after dinner, wrapped in waxed paper, returned to the ice box. In the morning, it came out before anything else went on. Cold cucumber sliced thin, placed over the eyes and across the forehead while she sat at the kitchen table with her first cup of coffee. 10 minutes. The coolness contracted the small vessels beneath the surface, reducing the overnight fluid accumulation that settles around the eyes during sleep. When she stood up, the puffiness that otherwise tracked through the first hour of the day had been addressed in 10 minutes before the day started. Cucumber also contains caffeic acid and vitamin C antioxidant compounds, but its primary function was simpler: cold contact before the day had opened. The cold first. A cucumber in 1955 cost 8 cents. Cold eye masks and cooling gel patches sold for this purpose today run $25 to $45 for a set of 10. Frances's cucumber cost 8 cents. She cut the end off after dinner, wrapped it, and had her treatment waiting in the morning without having bought anything. Number 8. The oatmeal mask every Saturday. On Saturday mornings in Dayton, Frances kept the oatmeal for 2 things: the breakfast her children were still sleeping through, and the mask that went on her face before the cooking started. A 1/4 cup of rolled oats ground between her palms, mixed with warm water into a paste. Applied across the face and neck, left for 12 minutes while the coffee cooled. Oatmeal contains compounds called avenanthramides, anti-inflammatory agents found nowhere else in the plant world. The skin after an oatmeal mask is not simply cleaner. It is less reactive, less inflamed, and better hydrated than before it went on. In 2009, a study published in the Journal of Drugs in Dermatology confirmed what 4 generations of American women had established through observation. Consistent colloidal oatmeal use reduced visible signs of skin aging, not improved the appearance temporarily, reduced the visible signs. The language in the study is careful. The result was not. Rolled oats in 1955 cost 12 cents for a box that lasted 2 months of Saturdays. Frances had been making it in her kitchen for the price of a handful of oats before any brand put it in a bottle. Before we continue, the phrase anti-aging was not in common use in 1955. It entered the cosmetics industry's vocabulary in the 1960s, became a product category in the 1970s, and by the 1990s had generated an industry worth tens of billions of dollars annually. What the phrase did was transform a biological process into a problem. Once aging was a problem, the industry that named it could sell the solution. Frances did not have an anti-aging routine because she did not believe she had an aging problem. She had skin that needed maintenance. She maintained it with what her mother had shown her, at a cost measured in cents per week. The anti-aging industry's revenue depends on a belief she never had, that the skin is failing and you need a product to rescue it. She did not. She needed what was already in her kitchen. She already had it. If you want the complete collection, every routine, every product, every habit these women kept but never thought to name, it's at nostalgiawomen.com. That is the only mention. Number 7, she massaged her face every morning for 5 minutes. Not a spa ritual, not something she had read about, a habit she had absorbed by watching her mother at the bathroom mirror, the particular slow movement of fingertips that looked, from the doorway, like she was simply thinking while touching her face. The technique, both hands starting at the center of the forehead, moving outward toward the temples, then chin outward along the jaw, nostrils outward toward the ears, inner corners of the eyes along the orbital bone, always outward, always upward on the lower face. 5 minutes every morning. What this does is move the lymphatic system, the network of drainage vessels just beneath the skin's surface that removes accumulated waste fluid. Lymphatic vessels have no pump. They move when the body moves them. 5 minutes of outward pressure moved them every morning, cleared the overnight fluid that produces morning puffiness, and brought fresh circulation into the surface tissue. A 2018 JAMA Dermatology study found that women who performed facial massage consistently over 20 weeks looked measurably younger by the study's end. Muscle thickness had increased. Skin appeared fuller. Frances did not know the word lymphatic. She knew how her mother's face had moved at the mirror, and she knew what her mother's face had looked like at 62. Number 6, apple cider vinegar for age spots. The Heinz bottle lived in the cabinet beside the stove. A smaller glass jar, also Heinz, lived beside the bathroom sink. 2 tablespoons of cider vinegar to 1 cup of water. A folded cotton pad soaking inside. Every evening before bed, the cotton pad touched the backs of her hands, the outer corners of her eyes, the patch above her upper lip that had started to darken in her early 40s. Any place where the skin had begun to mark time. Left to dry without rinsing. No morning application. Acid compounds on skin exposed to daylight increase sensitivity to the sun. The evening timing was not accidental. Her mother had told her, never in the morning. Apple cider vinegar contains acetic acid and malic acid, mild compounds that accelerate cell turnover, fading age spots, not by bleaching, but by clearing the discolored cells from the surface. Age spot serums run $40 to $75 at any skincare counter. The bottle of Heinz cost 30 cents. The timeline was slower. The result across a year of evenings was the same. Number 5, raw honey alone for 20 minutes. Not a recipe, not combined with anything. A tablespoon of raw honey, not processed clover honey, raw, the kind that clouded in the jar, applied directly with the fingertips across the full face in a thin, even coat. Frances sat with it on Sunday afternoons while she listened to the radio. By 15 minutes, the honey had become slightly sticky against the skin, the sign that it was actively drawing moisture from the surrounding air rather than simply sitting on the surface. By 20 minutes, the skin had absorbed something the air had not given it before. Raw honey is hygroscopic. It pulls moisture from the surrounding air into the skin. It also contains trace enzymes with mild antimicrobial properties. The effect is cumulative. One Sunday afternoon produces one result. 6 months of Sunday afternoons produce a different face. The honey she used in 1952 cost 30 cents per jar. Manuka honey masks, marketed on the enzyme and antimicrobial properties of a premium single origin variety, run $35 to $60 at beauty retailers. The mechanism is the same. The jar on her pantry shelf costs 30 cents. The Sunday afternoon cost her nothing. Number 4, bag balm for everything the other products didn't reach. The green tin had lived in her mother's kitchen in rural Ohio before it lived in Frances's bathroom. It had come from the barn, kept for the dairy cows, applied to cracked skin to prevent infection and promote healing. Her mother had brought it into the house in 1938. It did not go back. Bag balm has been manufactured since 1899. The formula, lanolin, petrolatum, and a mild antiseptic. It reached what other products could not. The deep dryness at the heel that cracked in winter, the splits at the knuckle that appeared every November, the persistent roughness at the elbow that cream touched without improving. Frances applied it at night. Heels, knuckles, corners of her mouth. The lanolin, structurally close enough to human sebum, worked overnight without the skin needing to cooperate. What made it different from ordinary moisturizer was not the petrolatum, it was the lanolin paired with it. The two together created an environment the skin recognized, not coated, fed. The green tin cost 60 cents in 1952. It still sells for under $8 for a 10-ounce tin. The formula has not changed. Number 3. Calendula salve from the pharmacy shelf. The small glass jar of calendula salve sat between the aspirin and the iodine in the bathroom cabinet. 30 cents from the pharmacy counter. No brand, just a simple label and the dusty orange-gold color of dried marigold petals infused into petroleum jelly. Calendula officinalis has been an American apothecary practice since before the Civil War, used for wound healing, skin inflammation, and the persistent dryness that accumulates around the eyes, at the corners of the mouth, along the creases of the forehead. Frances reached for the jar before anything else when the skin felt tight or raw, when a patch appeared on her cheek that did not respond to the glycerin. What calendula does is reduce the low-level chronic inflammation that underlies much of what is called skin aging, not the inflammation of a wound, but the quiet, persistent kind that tightens and breaks down the skin's structure over years. The salve costs 30 cents per jar. Calendula cream packaged as premium skincare now runs $20 to $35 for the same mechanism. The ingredient is so cheap and so effective that the industry has little incentive to sell it on its merits alone. Number 2, cold tea compress every morning. She did not throw away a used tea bag. One Lipton bag, steeped 4 minutes in her morning cup, removed, set to cool in a small dish beside the sink. When it had cooled enough to hold, she pressed it to the face, around the eyes, across the forehead, along the jawline, held flat for 10 seconds per area, then moved. The whole pass took 3 minutes. Black tea contains tannins, astringent compounds that contract tissue and temporarily close pores on contact. The cold compounded it. Pressed against warm morning skin, it constricted the small blood vessels near the surface, reduced overnight puffiness, and gave the face the temporary firmness that cold application produces. As the face warmed back up, the returning circulation carried oxygen. A box of Lipton tea bags in 1954 cost 22 cents. The bags Frances used on her face she had already used for a cup of tea. The compress cost her nothing. Caffeine-infused eye creams designed for the same effect start at $30 per half ounce. Before number 1. The global anti-aging skincare market was worth under $1 billion in 1970. By 2023, it had crossed $60 billion. Frances spent under $4 a year on her face. The distance between those two numbers is not innovation. It is not new science. It is not research that discovered something her pantry was missing. It is the distance between a problem that was named and a solution that was sold to the person who had been told she had it. The naming happened first. The solution followed the name. Number 1 is what remains when you never believed the problem existed in the first place. Number 1, she never tried to look young. This is the thing that has gone most completely missing. Frances did not look at her face in 1975 and try to reverse what time had done. She did not have a routine aimed at fighting aging. What she had was maintenance, a set of habits aimed at not letting the skin deteriorate faster than it had to. There is a difference, and the difference is the whole thing. The oatmeal mask does not reverse aging. It protects the surface from the damage that accelerates it. The glycerin and rose water does not erase fine lines. It keeps them from deepening. The sun hat does not restore anything. It protects what is still there. Every item on this list was buying time, not by turning the clock back, but by not letting the clock run fast. She did not look young at 68. She looked like a woman of 68 who had maintained what she had. 13 things, everything still available. Start with the oatmeal. One Saturday morning. 12 minutes at the kitchen table. Leave it on until the coffee has cooled enough to drink. Subscribe if you haven't. There is more where this came from.